Tai Chi Walk. Okay, moving back slightly, coming forward, hands at our waist. Good Tai Chi posture. 50-50. Pivot right heel out and zigzag. Shift your weight, root down to the right. L stance on the left heel. Turn the hips and waist, flatten down. Bow stance. Sit back, sit down on that stool. Pivot out as if you're walking into that left zigzag position. Heel out on an L stance, straight on a line or parallel to the line. Bow the legs, flatten down, bow stance. Bow and arrow. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out, shift your weight, straight away. Round out the crotch, shift the weight, bow stance. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk into the left zigzag position, heel out on a straightaway, turn the hips and waist, flatten down, bow stance. Sit back, sit down on that stool, pivot zigzag to the right, shift your weight, set out an L, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. So here we have an advancing Tai Chi walk, which takes into consideration shifting of weight, spinning on the axle, good Tai Chi posture, soft, deliberate movements that are the foundation of all of Tai Chi. When we put our hands together, our feet alignment will be enhanced because we know that Tai Chi is not hands and not just feet, but together they form a whole body movement. One more, sit back, twist out, shift weight, heel, round the crotch, down, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. Okay, go back to your original position and let me kind of put some details into what you did very nicely. So Tai Chi walk only takes care, what we just did, takes care of our feet. And if you can remember when we move into a 24 or a 16, we are doing our Tai Chi walk. Whereas in a 10, we are just doing, so you can see what we did coming forward is surely what I'm doing going to the side, okay? So that's how we advance, okay? But if you, so this is the basis of and foundations of Tai Chi. So we want to get it down really pat so that we can add hand motions or upper body. I shouldn't say hands because it's not hands, but it's the upper body, and it goes nicely with our turning of our hips and waist. So I'm going to do it the same way we were originally doing it, and I want to kind of clarify something. So we're at good Tai Chi posture, sort of good, but not really because we have our hands at our waist, whereas it should be down here. But for concentrating only at feet, when you pivot on your heel, both hips should be in this zigzag direction. One hip cannot go there and the other hip stay here. That's not Tai Chi. The principle says, turn on your axle, shift your weight, put out your heel on an L stance. Make sure you have enough of a span and make sure that when you drag that foot back, it's not close, because you will not be able to turn your hips and waist to come down in a bow stance. In this position, it is allowing us to go straight ahead, no matter how much we zigzag on either way. So this is a very important step, as are the other two major steps. Then I zigzag to the left. I walk in this direction. I step out on a heel, a straightaway, either on a line or on a parallel to that line. turn my hips and waist, and I flatten out. So you can see that the feet are staggered and never in the same plane or line. This allows us to keep safe in that we can freely turn our hips and waist and our knees rather than I'm going to do something wrong where I do not take an L stance. I can't turn my hips and waist and allow my knees to freely flow. So I need to come out, remember, out and to the side in a parallel to get me to back to where in the same alignment that I started with. But what complicates Tai Chi is that most everybody think that the hands are the stuff that really are beautiful, and they don't think much about the feet. But that's totally wrong. The feet lay the foundation in which the upper body then has to follow and enhance. So we're going to shift our weight, we're going to swivel on our axle, and we're going to counterbalance, okay? And let's see how that works. So this time, we're going to come forward, but we're going to use the Yang 16 form to apply to our feet work that we've just started, okay? So I'm going to have to kind of make it up and modify it, okay? So here we are, we're going to start to warm up. 2 without hands. Here we go. Pivot out, walk in the right hand zigzag, lay out your heel for an L stance, turn the hips and waist, bow stance. Sit back, sit down. In substantial pivots to the left, zigzag position, heel on an L, turn the hips and waist, bow. Now we're going to get ready to hold our ball, but don't forget it's our feet that are the foundations. Pivot out, we need to balance, so left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top, holding our ball, L stance, part, split your hands, bow stance. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out, left zigzag, ball for better balance, L stance, move the hips and waist, split the hands, bow stance. Half step forward means we're going to bring the back foot to its toe, to holding our ball. Spin the ball to the right as we drop on our back foot. Lift up our left hand, lift up our right foot, point it down, and get into this position called white crane spreads its wings. Weight is continually on the back. We're going to tuck our elbow in. How do we tuck our elbow in? Right now it's out. I'm going to tuck it this way. Can you do that? White crane. Tuck it in. Okay? Tuck it in, drop your front foot. Tuck it in, drop your front foot. Now you're going to come down towards your dantian about 6-8 inches away from your body and split your body in half. Bisect your body. Swirl back. Set it up correctly. We're going to brush our knee. Lift the front foot up, place it on its heel, multitask to brush your knee. 1. We do it 2 times. Sit back, sit down. Pivot out. Set it up correctly. L stance. Multitask. Magic of brush knee. 2. The 3rd time, we're going to pretend or start to do a brush knee, but we're going to deflect. See how we can use that same form to deflect. We sit back, no different. We zigzag out. We come up, shoulder, fist that shoulder hand. Take an L stance, deflect, bring that back hand to parry, step out on an L, and punch. Touch. That means strip the opponent off of you. Roll back, sit down. Spiral up, lunge forward. Okay? Good. Then we get back to, but then we're going to go into something that's better done and seen on a different angle. That's why we stopped. Okay, so yes, let's do it the regular way, this way, okay? So give yourself space because we're going to move to the left, okay? Not a whole big deal like the 24, but still you need room, okay? Good Tai Chi posture, commencing form, shift weight to the right, heel comes up of the left, on the toe, open, toe, arch, heel, rotate. Take a deep breath in as we elevate at shoulder level. Make yourself small, drop your shoulders, flex your knee. Shift your weight to the right or back foot as you form a T stance to hold your ball. You're going to take an L stance. L stance, move the ball, split the energy, go up the horse's mane. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, walk in that zigzag direction, hold your ball for better balance, step out on an L, part the wild horse's mane 2. We're going to take a half step by putting our back foot on its toe, holding our ball for better balance, spinning the ball, advancing the left hand, raising it up, put the toe of the right, and point it out. This is white crane, okay? So can you see that we were spinning the ball and the left hand went up and the right foot counterbalanced and pointed out to hold our balance. So that is a premise, or that is a principle. When I said to tuck the elbow, I don't want the elbow to continue to be where it is, but I want you to slightly bring it in and then bring it as if it were going to cut your body, okay? So white crane, tuck the elbow, drop the front foot, bisect imaginarily to the 10, swirl back, set it up correctly, one higher, one at your shoulder. To advance, you're going to get the weightless front foot, lift it off, put it on its heel, and multitask to brush your knee. Sit back, sit down, zigzag to the right, set it up correctly, multitask to brush your knee 2. The third time, we're going to sit back, sit down, set it up correctly, but fist the right hand. Push it up, bring the other hand down, set the heel out, spin out to the right to deflect, bring the left hand over to parry, step out, and punch on a bow stance. Then we're going to touch from the elbow, open our palms, we're going to roll back, turn the palms down, sit down, push up, lunge forward. Now this is when we get fancy and we do a pivot on our back or right foot, and then we do it on our front or left foot. The top matches the bottom or vice versa. You alleviate some weight of your ball of your foot of the back foot to pivot, then pivot on the front. Shift the weight, hook the hand, T-stance it. Left hand is by your face. You're going to step out on an L, turn the wrist, push the palm out, single whip. Okay, we're going to go on and do all the 16, but I know that it's not that easy, okay? Half step, you're going to swirl the back hand, rock the front foot, and play your lute on its heel. So your weight is on the back. You're setting yourself up by playing the peepaw. The left hand centers your body, and it's advanced. The right hand bends towards the elbow of your left hand. Weight on the back to set it up correctly. Drop your front foot. Left hand stays in the center, but the palm turns up while the right hand is setting up at a higher plane. We're going to repulse the monkey. We're going to do several things. Bring the top hand to our ear, and we're going to lift off the ground of our front foot because the weight is on the back to hold us stable. Here we go. Lift, ear, stretch out on the toe, then the heel. Then you're in the zigzag position, and what are you going to do? You're going to swivel or pivot on the ball of your front foot, meet in the center of the hands, and you're going to repulse. Push forward, pull back. Setting it up correctly. Right hand now is in the center. Left hand is up higher. We're leading with our toe, so no weight on the front heel. Everybody here? Lift up off your toe, multitask, ear, toe, heel. Zigzag by pivoting on the ball, meeting in the center, repulse. 2 only. Now we're going to use the words pivot and pirouette. When you pivot, normally it's on your heel, and that pertains to the left or front foot. When we pirouette, we're going to put the turn or rotate on our toes of the back foot. But we can't do it together, right? So here we go, one at a time. Pivot on the heel of the front foot. Spin on the toe of your back foot would automatically bring your right hand up, and the palm is towards the ceiling. It's like an inside-out ball, if so to speak. We're going to kick out with our right or front heel, and we're going to reposition our ball. Spin out with our heel, reposition our ball. Take a L stance, spin the ball, push, and put the shuttlecock right there. Put the shuttlecock on the opposite side now, okay? Sit back, sit down. Pivot the front foot in, hold the ball. Put the left heel out, right hand comes to the forehead. Turn the hips and waist, shuttles, right. Okay? All right, then we come back home. Because you don't know, you will see me better if we go back home, okay? So what we've done is something neat in that, one, we're learning more about our bodies because we're using different formats and different movements. But not only that, they're familiar movements to some of you, but yet they're done on the different side of the body. So normally when you would do a right side, now we're twisting it and we're doing it on the left side. So how is that helping our mechanics of our brain to function? It's giving us a full circle of experience, okay? So that's why it's ideal. It's kind of neat in that our body's not used to that. It's been programmed so long to do something more routine, and all of a sudden we're switching. It's good. So it's fun, okay? It can be very fun if you don't put pressure on yourself.